My friends are my power. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
What is up, nerds? Welcome back to Nerd Explosion, the weekly podcast where based on a monthly theme, we nerd out about whatever we want. Sitting across from me is Caitlin, pronouns she, her, and you can call me Little Caesars because my pronouns are hot and ready.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yes, actually, I'm very damn proud of myself.
Okay.
We back, baby. We finally got moved in, quote unquote. We still have like one or two things to kind of go through, but we are like, I'd say 85% unpacked and moved in.
No, I think we're closer to like 95% unpacked. We just have a couple more things to unpack.
I was say, yeah, we're basically 95% moved in.
But the rest of the stuff that we have to unpack is the stuff that's going on top of my altar, so I can't do anything with that until we mount the TV.
That is true. We do have a TV in the way. But anyway, moving on to the topic of today's episode. There really is no topic. I really couldn't think of anything, so I just found some news articles, and I figured we would give our opinions on such things.
I like having opinions on stuff.
I do too. And so does the internet. Speaking of which, little sidetrack. So the Pokemon community apparently has a lot of opinions.
Oh, yeah?
Because I posted on my Instagram a screenshot of a battle I was in. So I've, for anybody who's actually a Pokemon nerd, the deck I was using is mainly full of fighting Pokemon, but it's ones that like I know can do a lot of damage if the odds are with me. But the person I was facing, I don't even think it was a real person at this point, or they must have been, because this level of trolling can only be done by a human.
This level of trolling is clearly human.
There is a Pokemon that got introduced in one of the new card packs called Oratorio. Mm-hmm. And with their card, their special ability is that they cannot be damaged by any EX Pokemon.
That seems unfair, but okay.
It is completely unfair, but, if you have a basic Pokemon, which most of my Brutal deck is,
yeah,
it works out because you can still damage them. But what this person did is that they just sat there. They, did nothing. Didn't attach any energy to their Pokemon, didn't do anything else. Eventually, until time ran out, and they just conceded. And I'm like, yeah, that's a win for me, but, I don't feel accomplished.
Right.
And I posted it on Instagram, and obviously it went to my threads, which I forgot I had a threads. Mm-hmm. And apparently the Pokebros came out in full swing.
The Pokebros.
I had one comment that this guy was like, "Oh, just get better." He was like, "Just get better at the game." And I responded to them. I was like, "Get better at a game that's 80% luck and 20% skill."
Right.
Because that's the thing with the trading card game. Yeah, you can set up a good deck and everything, but a lot of stuff.
You always run the risk of somebody having a better deck.
Well, that, and it's also whatever 5 cards you get at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's always based on luck. If you start off with a good hand, then yeah, you're set.
Right.
But a lot of attacks have coin flips, and it's always obviously 50-50 heads or tails. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of it's just luck. So there's really no skill to the game. It's just if you get lucky.
So get off my dick, Brad.
But yeah, anyway, I wanted to do some articles today, and I picked some good ones. Before we get started, new episodes of this podcast come out every Saturday, except for obviously the last 2 because
we was moving.
Yeah, I think I posted an update on Monday, and it was just a shitty recording from my phone. Through my AirPods, which made it even shittier. But yeah, we do these every Saturday, and we should be getting back into the normal swing of things. So check the socials and the link for all that stuff. And also, before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to a new podcast that I've been listening to, and I feel like they deserve a lot more recognition. That podcast being Gummy Ship Radio. It's these 2 women, Brittany and Victoria, and they are huge Kingdom Hearts fans. And the whole idea of their podcast is each season is going to be based on a game. Right now, they're obviously on season 1, so they're talking about Kingdom Hearts 1 and going through each world in each episode. The last one they did was talking about Monstro, the Monstro world. So yeah, if you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts, go check out Gummy Ship Radio. But with that, and speaking of Kingdom Hearts, let's get into our first story, which is going to be some sad news for anybody who's a Kingdom Hearts fan. Kingdom Hearts Missing Link has officially been canceled.
Is that the 4th?
It's the mobile game they were going to do.
Oh.
Officially from Square Enix, they put out an announcement, the development team. They say, "We have made the decision to cancel the development of Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. We wish to convey our heartfelt apologies to everyone who has been looking forward to the start of service. Although we worked hard on developing and adjusting the game in the hope that it would be enjoyed by lots of players, we determined that it would be difficult for us to offer a service that players would find satisfactory over a long period of time, leading us to the decision to cancel development. We would like to take this opportunity to express our thanks to everyone who gave us their support and assistance with the multiple closed beta tests. We are truly sorry to have to make this announcement. The Kingdom Hearts series will continue. We are hard at work on Kingdom Hearts 4 and hope you'll continue to support the series as you keep an eye out for further updates." It's like I kind of knew this was coming. I reposted it on my Twitter. I was like, I knew this was coming. Still hurts
it's not
though.
Twitter anymore. It's X.
Fuck off with that. You can fuck right off with your Elon Musk bullshit.
Elon Musk can suck my left nut as far as I'm concerned.
He just sucked my left and my right nut. You just set the whole sack.
Speaking of sacks, side tangent. I was at work yesterday and
I thought you were going to say, speaking of sacks, this is what we just ate like 10 minutes ago.
no, we had White Castle.
Yeah, it's been forever since I've had White Castle. I was telling Kate, last time I had it, it was 5 a.m. and I was 17. Anyway, your thing?
So I was at work yesterday and one of my coworkers just got back from Chicago, I think.
Chicago.
But she was talking about all these like art places that she went and stuff like that, and she's like, yeah, and all the like Roman statues are missing their penars. And so she was making a joke about how what's the TikTok, the penar snatcher, Larry? Yeah. So she was like, I was making jokes with my boyfriend that like Larry got them because they're all missing.
Oh
their,
yeah, the AI story.
Yeah,
ones.
yeah. And so I was like, why are all these statues missing their schweens?
I
right?
was standing there with my peanut out, like usual. But little did I know, behind me was the peanut stealer man.
The peanut stealer man. So then we looked it up because I was like, it probably has something. It's probably the fucking Christians, right? Being all offended. And
it's always the Christians.
It was. So we looked it up, and they during like the purity movement or whatever, the people would break off the penises of these statues, but they would leave the balls. And I was like, hear me out. And everybody at the front desk just kind of looked at me, and I was like, if I'm going to be confronted by a twig and berries situation, I was like, I'm going to be way more offended by just the berries hanging there than the twig itself. And everybody started laughing. And I was like, no, I'm not wrong, though, because a ball sack is infinitely more offensive.
I like how we go from talking about Kingdom Hearts to statue penises.
Well, because you reminded me of it.
No, but I get what you're saying. Like with that, I'm like, if you're gonna take some, why not take the whole?
Or like take the whole situation. Like, why just take the dick and leave the balls?
You don't go to McDonald's, order a cheeseburger, and just eat the bun.
Yeah, like. But anyway, that's a side tangent. It was really funny because I was like thinking about it, and then it just like randomly hit me. I was like, I'd be more upset to just see a pair of balls hanging there than have like the whole dick and ball situation.
But coming back to this whole Kingdom Hearts situation, which is weird because only a little bit ago they made an announcement that apparently Missing Link would have featured over 20 worlds before the cancellation.
And they were going to put all that in a mobile game?
Yeah, that's kind of why I was like, oh, this is going to get canceled, isn't it? And sure enough, official statement, it got canceled, which, yeah, it kind of sucks because, it had potential to be good. Because, I mean, I will say it's not the first mobile game that got canceled or that never came to be. There was one way back in the day for like old Verizon phones, like a VCast situation or something like that. And apparently people have been working to revive that. But I guess, Missing Link just wasn't meant to be. And I guess this just means that the team is going to put all their effort now into finally giving us Kingdom Hearts 4. God damn it. It's been like 3 years since the teaser. We need something.
Or maybe they'll make Missing Link a full-fledged game.
Well, I mean, if Missing Link is not going to be anything, maybe they'll take the stuff that was going to be a Missing Link and move that to 4. Or, either the elements from Missing Link into 4 or create some kind of backstory thing that, involves what would have been the story in Missing Link. Because Missing Link was going to be I think 100-something years, way, way back.
Oh, like a prequel type thing?
Yeah, so obviously before Sora and Riku and all them. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with this. Maybe finally Kingdom Hearts 4 will come out faster.
Cow bummer, dude.
Post-episode Cameron here. So as I was editing this episode, Square Enix actually posted screenshots from Kingdom Hearts 4. We have new screenshots and everything from Kingdom Hearts 4. And I kind of saw it as hey, sorry we canceled Missing Link. Here is something from Kingdom Hearts 4 to, hold you over. And a lot of us are really stoked. We're analyzing everything. One of the screenshots it looks like you're playing as Mickey. So we're probably going to have a section playing as Mickey. And I hope as the other characters too. But literally as I was editing this episode, and before we move on to the next segment of this episode, I just wanted to add this little thing in here that, Square Enix actually released a little information about Kingdom Hearts 4. So we have that to look forward to in the future. And now, on with the rest of the episode.
This is where my parents died, Leonardo. Cow a bummer. Real quick before I get to the other article, I just want to get, because I had to look at my Twitter, because I'm going to call it Twitter. I reposted that, and then immediately below that, I quote tweeted a thing from J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
So I'll read you the thing she tweeted.
Oh, God.
Trans women are male. If they weren't male, they wouldn't be trans. Prejudice is an irrational fear or dislike. It is entirely rational to state that a man is a man. Only totalitarians and religious zealots insist that others parrot falsehoods on pain of retribution. So I quoted that, and I said, literally, figuratively, spiritually, and disrespectfully, go fuck yourself.
Shut the fuck up. It costs you nothing to keep your fucking trap shut. You absolute dumbbell of a human.
And this is a conversation I think we've had a couple times. I still love the Harry Potter universe. I love the universe of it. I love the characters and stuff. But fuck Rowling. My God.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it's I don't know. You fell in love with the art, but the artist is a piece of shit.
Right. And in this case, it is kind of hard to separate the art from the artist.
Which, I mean, a lot of people are against playing Hogwarts Legacy because of Rowling, but considering one character in Hogwarts Legacy is trans, either is trans or was they were voiced by a trans person.
Yeah. So in some one way or another, there is trans representation in the game.
Yes, but honestly, no. Fuck Rowling and everything she stands for.
And the goddamn horse she rode in on.
Fuck her and the ass she rode in on. Let's see. Next, okay, now get into these articles. First one I have here might interest you. Starbucks has a new menu item, and you can try it for free this week. This was published May 7th. You may have heard that some of the best new drinks at Starbucks aren't on its menu. Rather, the coffee chain's spring secret menu is the place to turn for eye-catching drinks, like an iced cherry mocha and a mermaid matcha that tastes like when, quote, you drink the cereal milk after eating Fruit Loops.
Okay, first of all, ew.
Cherry mocha. That sounds like it might be good.
The cherry mocha kind of sounds like it would slap.
It's cherries and chocolate. They kind of go together, but mermaid matcha, if it tastes like milk after you've eaten Fruit Loops.
Yeah, I don't like that, but I don't like matcha anyway.
I don't think I've ever tried matcha. I don't go out of my way to drink matcha.
So the cherry mocha sounds like it would be fire.
I mean, you have a friend that works for Starbucks.
I do, and I'm about to text him right now. But also, on the other hand, Caribou is the superior coffee chain. And me and Big Pimpin' have beef now because of that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we stopped into Jersey Mike's earlier because Alana was filling up her water bottle. And
Alana's a coworker, for those who don't know.
yeah, and my bestie for the resty. And Big Pimpin' said something about, we were talking about Alana's birthday or whatever, and Alana was like, oh yeah, Cole said you kind of ruined his day because you brought him Starbucks or whatever, and he said something about Starbucks, and I was like, okay, well, to be fair, Caribou is the superior choice. And Alana was like, heavy on that. And Big Pimpin' was like, oh man, oh, we're gonna have problems, we're gonna fight. And I was like, oh, we got beef now? And he was like, yeah, we do actually, because Starbucks is better. And I was like, you're incorrect, sir.
Was he born in Minnesota?
I don't know,
I was to say, if he was born out of state, that might explain it.
but
Because you asked any Minnesotan,
Starbucks burns their beans.
They'll vote Caribou over Starbucks.
Yeah, Caribou is superior, and I'll fucking die on that hill. Oh, okay, I have a caveat to that.
Well, I will say Caribou doesn't have like fruit drinks. They don't have like
Starbucks-
refreshers. Starbucks does.
Starbucks non-coffee drinks are better, but Caribou coffee is better.
I was like, Caribou doesn't have any like refreshers or stuff like that, right?
They have
At
their
least
like
last I
they
checked.
have their like bow lemonades or their boosted lemonades or something.
They
but
do have a lemonade. Is that not Dunkin'?
they had the
I was like, boosted lemonade. That sounds like a Dunkin'.
no,
thing.
because it was BOUST, like Caraboosted.
Oh, so they're copying Dunkin'.
No, they had them I don't know if they have them anymore. They had them years ago.
I might have to look at their menu. I mean, not that I ever go out of my way for Caribou.
But I get 3 things from Caribou, and that's all I ever get. I get the campfire mocha, or I get the mint condition mocha, or if I'm feeling fancy, I'll get a white chocolate mocha.
And that's not even counting seasonal stuff.
Oh no, in the winter, I'm getting the peppermint every single time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyway, moving on. Oh, here we go. Going back to Pokemon. This one I didn't even glance over. I just kind of like picked it because I was like, ooh, this sounds interesting. Pokemon fans can play a gorgeous new remake this month. This was published May 11th and updated May 12th. Rejoice, Pokemon fans! You'll be able to play this gorgeous new remake of a classic game later this month. The first Pokemon game was released in 1996 with the arrival of Red, Blue, and Yellow in Japan before a subsequent global launch on the original Nintendo Game Boy. The franchise has since garnered loyal fans from across the world. The Pokemon series has become one of the most lucrative entertainment properties on the planet, and not just in the world of video games. We've had card games, movies, animations, countless merchandise, and much more. The most recent game in the series is the upcoming Pokemon Legends ZA, which is set to arrive on both the original Nintendo Switch as well as the Nintendo Switch 2 later this year. However, before then, you might want to check out this gorgeous new fan-made remake arriving later this month. This remake is inspired by Pokemon Leaf Green, which originally launched alongside Fire Red for the Game Boy Advance in 2004. Oh, so it's a remake of a remake.
A remake of a remake.
A fan-made remake of a remake. Now, Leaf Green and Fire Red obviously were remakes of Red and Green.
Mm.
And I had Red and Green back in the day because like I said, Pokemon originally, the first Pokemon games came out in 96. I was already 3 years old by this time.
Right.
So obviously, I grew up with Pokemon. Or grew up, alongside Pokemon, I guess.
I was 2.
He was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm. Just a wee bab.
Let's see, Fame. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see where you could get it. If anybody wants to check it out, I guess go to the Twitter at Undreamed Panic. And the demo was called Gamma Emerald. They have a tweet that says Gamma Emerald demo will be released on my itch and Game Jolt page. People have been asking where the download will be, so here are the links, and they put links to the thing, and there's a video on it. And I haven't even watched it, but it looks really good. I don't even know if there's a... It says here there's not a release date for it yet, but yeah, at Undreamed Panic, if you want to check that out. If you're a Pokemon fan and you want to check that out. Next.
Thank you, next.
Thank you, next. PlayStation Plus game catalog and classics catalog lineup for May 2025 announced. See if there's anything that's going to be added to PlayStation Plus that I recognize. Here are the games that are being added to the PlayStation Plus game catalog starting May 20th. Sandland. From the creator of Dragon Ball comes a new action RPG, Sandland. Create incredible vehicles to explore a desert world and beyond. Meet the fiend Prince Beelzebub, his chaperone Thief, and the fearless Sheriff Rao, and follow the team on an extraordinary adventure in search of the legendary spring hidden in the desert. Learn how to control Beelzebub's powers and lead your company of heroic misfits exploring the legendary world of Sandland. Beware of the many dangers that populate it. Between bandits, fierce wildlife, and the royal army, reaching the spring won't be easy. Use your tact and imagination to develop tanks and other vehicles that will help you navigate this vast land using a wide array of part combinations. From the creator of Dragon Ball, so Akira Toriyama, R.I.P. a legend. It's, yeah, just looking at this, it has that same art style, like that Dragon Ball art style.
I was about to yell at you because you said Beelzebub weird at the first.
Beelzebub.
Well, I think you said like
Beelzebub.
Yeah, I don't know how you said it. You have to listen back to it. But I was gonna be like,
Beelzebub.
It's Beelzebub. Put some fucking respect on his
I know
name.
it's Beelzebub, but I want to call him Beelzebub.
And that's why we drink calls him Beelzebubby.
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 Yeah, that's what I'm definitely gonna be checking out.
But Beelzebub is a king of hell, so give him some respect, please.
Next on here, Soul Hackers 2. I never even heard of Soul Hackers 1.
The name sounds familiar, actually, but I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Explore a dark supernatural realm and investigate the world's end in the sci-fi neo-noir mystery. Amidst the glimmer of neon lights, technological advancement causes humans to be consumed by commercial convenience. Man, just like real life. In the shadows, a war between the Yata Garasu and the Phantom Society is brewing. Devil summoners who harness the otherworldly powers of demons. Existing in the secret sea of humanity's data, a digital hive mind has evolved into sentience. Aeon. Observing humankind from afar, Aeon calculates that a world-ending disaster is imminent and creates two agents to combat against it, Ringu and Fudwe. Together, these agents of Aeon must investigate and prevent a butterfly effect that will lead to the end of the world. Alright, that sounds pretty interesting. I'll definitely add it to my library, too.
Mm-hmm. I think you should add the Beelzebub one, too.
Oh, Sandland?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just what got me right away was when they said from the creator of Dragon Ball, and I'm like, ooh, I love that art style. Mm-hmm. Like, I love, I grew up with Dragon Ball. I love the Dragon Ball art style. Ooh, this one I'm really excited for. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, Full-Time Edition.
Yes.
Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted is a collection of classic and original minigames set in the Five Nights universe. Survive terrifying encounters with your favorite killer animatronics in a collection of new and classic Five Nights at Freddy's experiences. Repair claustrophobic ventilation systems, troubleshoot broken animatronics that could activate at any moment, and spend your evenings cowering in the nighttime security guard office. Scenes from classic titles have been updated and remade for a fully immersive experience, including Five Nights at Freddy's, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Five Nights at Freddy's 4, and Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location. A little note here, it says Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted Full-Time Edition is a combined version of Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted and its DLC, Curse of Dreadbear, for PS5 and PSVR 2. The base version for PS4, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, is also available as part of Game Channel's main lineup. Ugh.
So, wasn't Five Nights at Freddy's 3 Sister Location?
No, Sister Location was Sister Location.
3 was the one with Springtrap, right?
So Five Nights at Freddy's was the one at the no, 2 was the original. The original, I thought. I don't know. I have to rebrush up on my Five Nights at Freddy's lore, but
Hold on, let me look it up.
no, sister location was the one where they were like repairing animatronics, and that's the one with Baby. 4 is the one where you were the kid in it and their bedroom,
Yeah,
and you
and
saw
the
the nightmare animatronics.
Is Five Nights at Freddy's okay for kids?
Is that
No.
the first thing that came up when you doodled it?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, it's definitely not okay for kids, which is why I'm confused that my 5-year-old nephew enjoys it so much. Like, literally, my 5-year-old nephew ran around one time when we were visiting him, and he's just like, Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm like, how do you know this, child? But looking at this, it says standard, non-VR, and VR modes included. So, because I know the original Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted was a VR game, but they also made a non-VR version, which it seems like this is. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I don't need a whole VR thing to play it. Like, I've been looking through the PlayStation Store or the game catalog, and there's a lot of stuff that like it looks really cool, but I would need a PSVR headset to do it, and those are pretty spendy, and I ain't got that type of money.
Oh, okay.
Are you discovering something over there?
Yeah, so Five Nights at Freddy's 1 is at the original location. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is at the, quote, new and improved version of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
3 was at Fazbear Frights. Because they specifically tried to make like
3
a horror
was at
theme.
Fazbear Fright. 4...
That ended up burning down.
4 was at the house. 5 is sister location. And then we have the Pizzeria Simulator, Help Wanted, Special Delivery,
Oh, that was the
Security
mobile
Breach,
one. Yeah, Security Breach, and then Ruin.
Into the Pit.
Oh, Ruin, and then Into the Pit. I feel like that's not canon with like the other Five Nights at Freddy's. And it's based off, or unless, because it's based off the book, and if the book is canon, then I don't know. It's
This is from PocketTactics.com, so I don't know how accurate that is.
It's so convoluted.
The Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah, that whole lore timeline thing, trying to figure that out. It's so convoluted. Like, it's just such a mess trying to be like, okay, what happened when and who did what, where, and why. It's just, my God. Like, thankfully, there are like a million different videos on YouTube of explaining it. Probably 90% of them game theory videos.
Yeah.
Like, all of them is just like, you look up Five Nights at Freddy's lore, and I guarantee most of that first search page is just game theory videos.
And honestly, MatPat does it justice.
Well, the new guy does it justice too. I forget his name.
I don't remember. We don't watch a lot of the same YouTubes we used to watch.
Yeah, I was just say your recommended and my recommended are vastly different.
Well, and we used to watch Good Mythical Morning religiously. We used to watch Game Grumps religiously, and now the only Grump thing we really watch is the 10-minute Power Hour. And I watch Legends of Adventurous every Wednesday.
And I just see clips.
But speaking of, they never put up like the shortened version of the stream last week, so I fucking missed it, and now I'm big mad.
Hey, we'll have to deep dive in that. Anyway, I forgot there was still more on this list. Battlefield 5. Enter mankind's greatest conflict with Battlefield 5 as the series goes back to its roots in a never-before-seen portrayal of World War II. Experience all-out multiplayer with your squad in the vast grand operations and cooperative combined arms, or take on single-player war stories. Also includes Firestorm Battle Royale reimagined for Battlefield. Next on this list, Stalker, Legends of... Let me try that one again. Stalker, Legends of the Zone trilogy. Delve into the renowned classics of open-world survival with the original Stalker trilogy, now upscaled and enhanced for a new generation. Investigate the Zone's origins, taking on the roles of legendary stalkers, and forging paths that can lead to different outcomes based on your actions and decisions. Test your gumption while navigating through radioactive debris and anomalies, and put your reflexes to trial during intense gunfights. Search for the answers to the darkest mysteries that could cost you your sanity in sinister catacombs filled with starved mutants. You know, I had never heard of those Stalker games before. I've seen clips of it, and it looks like you're basically walking through like a wasteland or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if it's free, I'll definitely check it out. Next on here, we got Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising. Rise to Glory and Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, a delightful fighting game experience for beginners and veterans alike. Newcomers can fully enjoy the intensity and thrills of one-on-one combat without needing to memorize complicated controls. Simple inputs can be used to perform skills with the press of a single button. Embark on a journey through the vast skies of Grand Blue Fantasy and immerse yourself in an epic adventure while mastering the fundamentals of gameplay. As you take on more quests in this action RPG-inspired experience, you'll continue to grow stronger. I have no opinions on that, but I do want to say something that literally just popped up, and it kind of goes back to the Kingdom Hearts thing. Yoko Shimomura on Missing Link's cancellation. Now, for those of you that don't know, Yoko Shimomura is the music composer for the Kingdom Hearts series. Let's see what she says. Yoko Shimomura says, "It's honestly a pity that Kingdom Hearts Missing Link has been cancelled. I too was able to play the beta test and was looking forward to the release. I hope the songs I wrote for this game can one day be heard by you all."
Aw.
And that's one of the saddest things. We're missing out on the music.
Yeah.
God damn it, Square. Well, it's not even really Square. Well, I suppose it would be Square Enix because they develop and are, producing the game. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's Disney that owns it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking right at you, Maleficent. For those of you who don't know, we have artwork on our wall that I'm currently staring at, and it was painted by our friend Trisha.
It wasn't she didn't paint it.
Or no, it was Sam that did it?
No.
Oh, I thought one of them painted it.
No.
Okay, so Trisha gave it to us. And it's just an artist's depiction of Corella, Maleficent, the Evil Queen, and Ursula.
It says vicious villains.
Going back to this PlayStation games list, Humankind. Humankind is a historical strategy game where you'll be rewriting the entire narrative of human history and combining cultures to create a civilization that's unique as unique as you are. Combine up to 60 historical cultures as you lead your people from the ancient to the modern age, face historical events, take impactful moral decisions, and make scientific breakthroughs. Each battle in Humankind plays out like a mini turn-based board game on top of the actual world map. Unstack your armies and command each of your units, including the emblematic units of your culture and their special abilities. Construct siege weapons to besiege and occupy cities. Fight in large battles spanning multiple turns, and don't hesitate to bring in reinforcements. This to me kind of sounds like what's that other game? Civilization, where you basically take control of one country and you can fight like actual leaders, like you can fight Gandhi. Which the one thing of like useless information that I know is that apparently there was a glitch in one of the Civilization games that caused Gandhi to be like super aggressive. Now he has like the lowest aggression stat just by default.
Yeah.
Because he'll never like just attack you out of nowhere. But some glitch will happen where all of a sudden his like if his aggression stat or whatever is like a 0, it'll cause it to go down, which will bring it all the way to like 999. So like some glitch will happen that will make Gandhi just like bomb the shit out of you.
Oh.
Anyway,
That's why we can't do nothing productive.
The only other game on this list, there's two other games here, Gloomhaven Mercenaries Edition and Battle Engine Aquila. The only other one that may be interesting to some people is Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. And it's basically like, the way I see it is kind of like an Animal Crossing game. But it's, I guess, this game is known in other countries as Harvest Moon. Or actually, I think Harvest Moon it used to be just one game. It used to be just Harvest Moon, but then it split. Or something happened with the Harvest Moon name where they couldn't use the name Harvest Moon, so it became Story of Seasons.
I see.
But yeah, I guess if I have a free one, I'll check it out because I've only heard of the series. I've watched Peanut Butter Gamer talk about it, but I've never actually gotten into it. So I'll definitely check out Story of Seasons Wonderful Life. And the last thing I have on here, and this is relevant because Cade, you mentioned Legends of Evantress.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Polygon. D&D Beyond is getting Crooked Moon, the biggest ever 5e Kickstarter hit.
Yes.
Dungeons & Dragons has been working to integrate some of the biggest third-party publishers of 5e content into its D&D Beyond digital ecosystem, making it easier for Dungeon Masters to keep track of all their books, and allowing players to incorporate unofficial classes, feats, and spells into their virtual character sheets. D&D Beyond incorporated Ruins of Symbaroum earlier this month, and Heliana's Guide to Monster Hunting in June, and the latest addition to this tool set is The Crooked Moon, a folk horror setting and adventure based on Legend of Evantress's actual play series Edge of Midnight. The Crooked Moon earned more than $4 million on Kickstarter in 2023, making it the most successful D&D 5e crowdfunding campaign on the platform to date. Backers received their PDFs in March, and pre-orders are open now for the D&D Beyond version, which will release on June 16th. The player options and campaign setting book and Monsters and Adventure campaign cost $39.99 each, or can be bought together for $69.99. This ambitious project includes a 350-page adventure taking characters from levels 1 to 13 in the spooky world of Wickermore Hollow, where they'll travel on the Ghostlight Express to face the Crooked Man. The campaign features 85 folklore-inspired monsters and rules for multi-phase boss fights with their own minions and terrain. Players can also embrace the horror with plenty of new subclasses and species. So a ranger can become a Grim Harbinger, a warlock can choose the Horned King as a patron, and you can play a pumpkin-headed Harvestborn or a rat-like Plagueborn. I know none of these classes because I'm not a huge D&D person. Like, I'm interested in D&D, but I'm not, like, well-versed in, like, the
Watching
monsters
their
and
Edge
the
of
lore
Midnight
and everything.
playthrough, watching their Edge of Midnight campaign is on my list.
For those who want to check it out, pre-orders are available at thecrookedmoon.com, with fulfillment expected this fall, when the books will also be available at retail.
And my boy Mace did the intro
Yeah,
for Crooked Moon. You should watch it. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
I've always been kind of interested in D&D, especially like over the past year, and Legends of Evantress has definitely been a constant in that like D&D enjoyment.
Because I'm obsessed.
Smosh did a D&D thing too. I forgot what their campaign was called, but you know they did one.
They did a visual one of the season 2 as a podcast, right?
Well, yeah, it's in podcast form. Like they filmed it, but then they have they have it in audio form too, so you can listen back. Let me go through my.
But they don't have season 2 on.
Sword AF, that's what it's called.
But they don't have a season 2 on YouTube, do they?
It's on here. Well, because season 1 was actually filmed with them sitting there, and I think season 2 was just them. It was literally just audio.
Oh.
Like the video version is like their little face bubbles talking or whatever. And I think they focus more on like creating visuals to it more than actually seeing them do it.
Sure.
Which I kind of hate because I like seeing people actually like interact, like what Legends of Evantress does.
Like when Derek actually got up and mimed being a cat.
Oh yeah. So what is that? Once Upon a Witchlight?
That was Once Upon a Witchlight, yeah.
So I think one of the things they have in their campaign is that like something will happen and all of a sudden they'll get cursed with some weird or some goofy thing.
So what happens in that one is if they make a bargain or if they roll, I'm butchering this because I don't quite understand it, but basically
in order to do an action they have to face like some type of consequence.
if they get a bad roll and they're like, oh, can I re-roll? Nikki, the DM, is like, you get a fake curse.
You get a fake curse.
So one of the fake curses was that Derek, who plays a
Tabaxi named Morning Frost.
Tabaxi sorcerer, basically his fake curse was that he thought he had been turned into a lycanthrope. He had not. And
You've been turned into a lycanthrope. You think you've been turned into a lycanthrope. You haven't.
And he basically goes on this whole thing, and he was like,
Kirby, run. I never told you this before.
he's like, I never told you this before, and then there was another thing.
Mordfud
So they
is a
couldn't.
werecat.
So this is his second fake curse, because the first one was where he couldn't use vowels or something. So Morning Frost became Morig Fot. And so he was like, Morig Fot is a werecat.
Mordfud is a werecat. And then Kirby just...
So at one point he's like miming being a werecat, and Cremmy, or Richie, who plays Cremmy, who is a lizard folk warlock, is like, hey, stop that. And then he goes tss, 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 like he's spraying the cat. So then Derek gets out of his chair, hands down, and like arches his back and starts like half jumping away like a cat would do. And it's the funniest fucking thing. Everybody else at the table is dying, but that's commitment to the bit.
God, his characters are like the best. Morning Frost, and then other
my
campaigns
God,
where he's
Bitsy.
Bitsy.
I love Bitsy.
What you run, you winning freak?
What you riding, you weird freak? But they were gonna kick me out because they don't know the difference between lemons and lemon juice. We might have to kick you out if we don't know the difference between lemon and lemon juice. Well, clearly the juice comes from the lemon. Well, that's horseshit.
That's fucking horseshit.
I fucking love Derek.
Oh, my favorite one is their Halloween one shot, and at certain points of the
Do we
campaign,
trust the Torbeck?
at certain points of the campaign, they get like a trick or treat thing, and like they'll get like certain things, and how Derek revealed it. You know, obviously they're in character and they're revealing what they got. It's like, oh, that's what you did? All I got was a dread against the DM.
All I got was a dread against DM. It's so funny. Derek and Mace and Andy are probably my favorites.
Oh, Torbeck rolled a natural one.
Oh no, Torbeck rolled a natural. Please, Snail. Torbeck has never asked you for anything.
Go as fast as your snail body will go.
Torbeck thinks we should follow the bright light, and it has nothing to do with human bones. Like, I would protect Torbeck at all costs.
Go check out Legends of Adventures if you're into D&D, or even if you're not into D&D. It's just a fun time.
And Andy's seagull laugh. First of all, I love that Andy laughs like a seagull when something really tickles him.
Mace laughs with his entire face.
Mace laughs with his entire face. And I love the relationship he and Derek have, because they sit at the table across from each other. Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
Oh yeah, one time even before the campaign, they were just saying like,
I shaved. You did.
like Andy said something about him getting a haircut.
Yeah.
And who was the other girl? Kelsey.
Yeah.
I think there was like, Kelsey got a haircut.
Kelsey's
Derek,
Andy's wife.
And then Derek's like, I shaved. And then Mace, you did. And then Derek just looks down, looks at him and smiles.
And Mace loses his fucking mind, laughs for a solid 3 minutes, and then catches his breath and says, it is criminal that I think I'm the only one that saw that. And poor Nikki was like, no, I watched the whole thing. But anyway, it's very funny.
Does your green child need a booster seat? My
green child. Yeah, the one with the big dog. That is a goblin.
That is a goblin.
That is in fact an
adult
man goblin.
I'm actually the oldest of the group.
I'm actually the oldest of the
group. My offer still stands.
My question still stands. Would you like a coloring book and some
crayons?
So good.
But yeah, now
that
an
adult man.
Now that we've been talking for almost an hour, what did you think of these stories?
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good.
These little articles that I just kind of chose at random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm excited because it's Wednesday and I get to watch Legends of Adventure stream for the next 5 hours.
On tours. Yeah, stream for 5 hours and literally started the campaign 2 hours in.
Yeah, but sometimes the funniest bits are like in the beginning before the hype train.
The funniest bits. See? Anyway, that's been the podcast for today. But yeah, I should download Twitch. We can watch that. I'm also going to die first, and then we can watch Legends of Adventures.
Why download on Twitch? They stream on YouTube.
Well, that's been our show today, folks. Yeah, glad to be back in the swing of things, and hopefully we
Glad
can...
to be back in our new place.
Yeah, which hopefully this episode sounds okay. I mean, obviously I'm going to do my editing, but hopefully this episode sounds okay with, you know, new podcast room and everything. But with that being said, drink your water, do positive things out there, stay cool if you're in Minnesota because it's going to be hot at least for a couple days, at least a couple more days.
Oh, it's supposed to be back down to the 50s tomorrow.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to cool down a little bit. Well, it's also supposed to rain too. Anyway, if you're not in Minnesota, none of that is going to matter to you in the slightest.
Or if you're the part of Minnesota that's currently on fire, Godspeed, soldiers.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that news. I mean, just real quick, yeah.
Yeah, Alana sent me a video and she was like, oh, northern Minnesota is on fire. And I was like, okay, well, my grandparents are in northern Minnesota, so like,
It's
where's
like north
the fire?
of Duluth.
Oh, so not like as north as we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I've been Cameron.
I've been a blob.
And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Nerds out.
Out.